Hi, this is Amma again from SSLtrust.com Australia, and in this video I am going to be showing you how to install an SSL certificate on Centos Web Panel 7. So let's get started. So this is the website that we've hosted on our server, and as you can see it is not yet secure, and we are going to make sure it is. So the first step in this process is to generate a certificate sign-in request or a CSR and a private key. So you can navigate to our SSL Trust's own CSR generator via the website or by searching on Google. So now we're going to scroll down and just fill in these details real quick. But before that, I just want to let you know that a CSR or a certificate sign-in request is nothing but a request initiated by you, the client, to the certificate authority, which contains all the necessary information such as the domain name and any business details which are stored in a hashed form. On the technical side, it also contains the public key which will be signed by the certificate authority and returned to you in the issued certificate. So now for the common name, just type in your domain name real quick without the www, the name of your organization, the organizational unit such as IT, your city or the town that you live in, your state, and select your country and type in your email address. And root length, we're going to go 2048 bit, which is the industry standard, and click on generate CSR. Once you do that, you should be able to see your private key and your CSR right here. Make sure to save this in a safe place. Make sure to copy and paste this from the very start to the very end, including all the dashes in a notepad file, or just keep this window open and proceed to further configuration. However, it is recommended that you save your private key and CSR so that you can do multiple configurations if your initial configuration goes wrong. So I'm gonna go back to the SSL Trust homepage. So now what we need to do is purchase an SSL certificate for our website. So as you can see, SSL Trust has established various partnerships with all the leading certificate authorities, and there are lots of options that you can choose from, whether you want a standard SSL certificate for a small website, a business SSL to show higher validation, or premium extended validation EVSSL for larger organizations needing more security. Or you can go for wildcard SSL certificates in which you can secure unlimited subdomains or multi-domain and so on. You can contact our sales and support team over at SSL Trust, and they'll be happy to help you out in choosing the best SSL certificate for your business. So for now, we're going to click on standard SSL certificates, and let's click on the Comodo Positive SSL for this video as a demo. We are going to choose 1 year, the duration. Click on buy now. Click on checkout and fill in these details real quick. Your phone number, etc. And then choose your preferred method of payment and then click on complete order. Once you've done that, you can come back to the SSL Trust dashboard and select your product or service you've purchased and then click on start certificate configuration. In this case, we've purchased the SSL certificate from Sectigo, so we're going to be using the Sectigo SSL certificate configuration window. Now scroll down, and the first thing we're going to do is head back to our CSR generation page and then copy your CSR from the very start to the very end, including all the dashes, or from a notepad file if you've saved it there. Come back to the certificate configuration window and we're going to paste it right here. Click on verify CSR and all these details look good. If not, make sure to regenerate your certificate sign request. Otherwise, you can click on proceed, and we're going to go with other server type since there's no mention of Centos. Click on next step, and fill in your details real quick. Now, if you have a technical contact doing this for you, please enter their details here. Otherwise, click on Use Admin Contact if you're doing it yourself. Click on Next Step. And now comes an important part of the process, which is domain control validation. So basically, we need to prove to the certificate authority, which in this case is Sectigo, that you own your domain name and have complete access to it. So now you can do this in one of three ways. The first or the easiest one is the email validation method. So basically, you need to have an email address with this exact address, and you will be sent an email upon which, when you click on, should contain a link which should validate your domain name and should get you your SSL certificate. The second step, or the second method is the HTTP file method. So basically, what you have to do is create a text file with this exact name, and you will need to create these directories if they're not already there. And then in that text file, you need to paste in this contents and then click on check file. So once this propagates on your server, you should be able to get your SSL certificate. Or the third and the method that we're going to be using is the CNAME record validation method. So you need to navigate to your DNS settings with either your domain name provider or your hosting provider and check where your name servers are pointing to and make the necessary changes there. So let me log into my DNS settings real quick. Okay, so I'm here on my DNS settings, and now we're gonna add a new record. Type is gonna be CNAME. Head back to our configuration page and copy this record from the very start to very end. And we're gonna paste it right here. Do the same for the CNAME value. Just paste it right here. Click on save. Come back to the configuration window and click on check DNS record, this button right here, and then click on search. Now, as you can see, our DNS record has not propagated yet. This should take from a few minutes up to an hour, depending on your DNS service propagation speed. So just keep coming back here or keep checking whether your DNS record has propagated or not. In the meanwhile, you can just click on submit configuration. And as you can see, our configuration was a success. This is our order number and our status is that we're awaiting validation. Click here to access Validation Manager. As you can see, our domain control validation needs to be completed. So after a few minutes, just come and check your DNS records propagation here. Click on search and then click on submit or recheck to refresh things on Sectigo's end. So let's close this up for now. If in case you're lost and need to navigate to the validation manager, so you can click on your product or service and then click on the access validation manager button right here and wait for your DNS records to propagate. So we're going to wait a few minutes for our DNS records to propagate. Okay, so it has been about 2 minutes and our DNS record has propagated in quite enough places. So we're going to close this up for now. Head back to the dashboard and select your product or service. And as you can see, our certificate has been issued. So what we can do now is click on the collect or download certificate button right here to view your certificate. And here it is. We can. So now let's close these tabs up The next step in this process is to install the SSL certificate on the CentOS web panel. Okay, so now what I'm going to need you to do is navigate to your IP/port 2031 or your domain name if you've pointed it to your IP. Click on enter. Let me just log in real quick. Log in as root to your web control panel. Now we are on the CWP 7 dashboard. Now what we'll need to do is on the left side, you'll see web server settings. Open the drop-down menu, scroll down, and then click on SSL certificates. Once you do that, navigate to manual install, click on that. Now choose the user and choose the domain name you want to install this on. Make sure you add it in the settings before, otherwise you're not going to be able to choose it. So now what we're going to do is copy the certificate to our clipboard and paste it right here. Do the same for the intermediate certificate. Copy to clipboard, paste it in the third dialog box. Now your private key, this window that is open either on your notepad file, this window, copy this from the very start to the very end, including all the dashes, and paste it right here. Once you do that, click on validate certificate and then click on save. You can see you'll see a successful operation coming up on the right. And now what we can do is navigate to https://sslguides.com.au or your domain name. And as you can see, our website is now secure and our certificate is now valid. Now, one more thing you can do is test the SSL certificate installation just to check whether everything is up to standards. You can go to a website called sslabs.com and then click on the test your server button right here. Copy your hostname and paste it right here. Click on submit. This tool runs various SSL checks to make sure that your website is as secure as possible. So we're going to wait for the result. This will take a few minutes. And we're done with the SSL Labs test, and we have got an overall rating of A, which means that everything is good to go. And the ciphers, the configuration, everything looks good. So basically, if you get an overall rating of A, this means that the security on your site is top-notch. The SSL has been successfully installed. So this is how easy it was to install an SSL certificate on CentOS Web Panel 7. Now I need to mention that there is a written guide available in the very description of this video, which you can follow to install the same SSL certificate on your server. If you were easily able to install your certificate, then please give this video a like. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please put a comment below, and thanks for watching.